cash deal, okay? Anytime I have a cash deal, right off the top, give yourself some room, okay? I always went over the top and put my discounted price. I need to give myself some room right away, okay? So when I sit down to do that cash, Sergio, what's your customer gonna ask you? I'm looking to pay cash. Tell your boss, I just want the best out the door price. Right or not? Yeah. You gotta work this, guys, because I guarantee you, when you start a car deal that way, it doesn't matter if I come out and I tell him 10,000 out the door. He'll say that was too much and you better do better and still not tell me what it is. It's a lose-lose scenario every single time, okay? I gotta be able to have the courage to work this thing. So I always raise my price, cross it out. This thing was discounted. So Mr. Customer, at the $32,000, tax and license, how much tax and license? 10%. We all know this, 10%, okay? It's about 10% combined. Okay, in this case, it's about $3,200. This would normally put me about $35,200.
And your car loan, right?
For the sake of this, we'll okay. Get through this, okay? We have reduced it down to $30,000, so that same 10% is gonna put you about $33,000, which is already saving you about $2,200. Okay, so does $33,000 work for you? Is that what you had in mind? Right? Now where are you going to counter at? Give me a counter. If they say 20,000, you did a poor job of landing this customer. All right, I'm going to turn it on you. Huh? 30,000 out the door. That's going to be a realistic offer because in their mind they think they're really close, right? Yeah. Okay. So 30,000 out the door. Okay. So when he hits me back at 30,000 out the door, am I going to work off this? No. I'm going to work off this, guys. That's the trick right there. Okay. You see how we did that? That's the trick right there. The original price was 32 grand. 32 grand plus tax license put you 35 too. This is the sell price, which would put you here. Now you're offering 30. Mr. Customer, I want to go present your offer, but keep in mind, that's about a $5,200 discount. Most vehicles today, what's the profit margin of most vehicles today? Most vehicles today have about a 10% profit margin. And we've already discounted a couple grand. I may need a little bit of help. Let me ask you this. Vince, what was it that attracted you to this car? Was it the vehicle itself or was it the price point?
It was the price point.
It was the price point. We're perfectly aware everyone shops online and we're in the middle of nowhere. So if we don't price our cars super aggressive up front, we never get the opportunity to see people like you. You drove here because it's already the best price. Odds are they probably don't got $5,200 when they're already pricing that aggressive, okay? If we needed some help here, can you get any closer to the 33,000?
Maybe 31 out the door.
31? Okay, let me try. Let me go talk to my boss, okay? So we're going to try 31 out the door. Now keep in mind, that's basically $4,200 off, which still exceeds the 10% profit margin that most dealers work with. But I'm going to do my very best and see if we can present this offer, okay? Do you see what I'm doing right here, guys? I'm taking them again to fear of loss, okay? How many times does a customer say, I want your best out the door, and then we bring them our best out the door, and then they say, okay, perfect, let me think about that. Can I get a copy of that? How long is this deal good for? And then you got nowhere to go, right or not? Because I never took them to fear of loss. I offered them a fair or good deal. When a customer receives a fair or good deal, what do? They shop it. There's no fear of loss. I thank you. I think that's fair, but I also think I can get that a week from now. So now that I have that number, let me go ahead and look around and just see if there's something better. I have to create, I got to go through this work and create an area where they think that that's probably out of my reach, but if that does work, I'm winning. I got to put them in a winning situation. Make sense? So I got to let them know, hey, most of our cars have a 10% margin. What was it that brought you here? Was it the vehicle or was it the price? What are 9 out of 10 going to say? It was a price. We're perfectly aware of that. Okay, we're in the middle of nowhere and everybody shops online. If we don't price super aggressive up front, we never get the opportunity to see customers like you. And you drove from Visalia, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there was probably 1 or 2 dealers between us and your home?
Couple.
There's a couple. So we have to price super aggressive to get people to drive 45 minutes to come see us. That being said, I want to earn your business. But I know asking for $5,200 off, if we're trying to make $5,000 on our customers, we wouldn't get people to drive 45 minutes to come see us. I may need a little bit of help. What's the closest you can get to that 33? They say 31. Maybe I'll even try and split that. Let me go to, can I try this? Can I try 31.5? Sometimes you can pick up a 500. Either way, I'm creating that resistance and I'm making the customer feel that they're winning at this point. So this is the problem that we have with cash customers. We treat cash customers completely different than everybody else. And we just lay down and we take the order. And then it doesn't work because we never put them in any position of fear of loss. We never put a winning scenario in there. You got to go through this process, okay? Does this look any different than my regular one? It's got just as much work there, okay? This is what's required to get people to move forward now, okay? So to sum that up, make that quick for you, anytime I had a cash customer, I gave myself some room, okay? If it was 30,000, I'm gonna bump it up $2,000, I'm gonna cross it out, I'm gonna start my pencil off that. Why didn't I go $3,000? Because I'm always gonna say most of my vehicles have a 10% margin in them. That's typically the margin most dealers carry. Okay, that's the competitive margin today. If I went $3,000, I'm cutting my whole thing out right out the top. So I gotta leave a little bit of wiggle room to make this thing real. Does that make sense? So I know this is a lot right now. There's a lot of little details, but that's why you gotta take notes and you gotta practice these things if you wanna get good at them. But this customer should be no different than this customer, okay?